Let's talk about streets and maybe some potholes with the street department today.
Welcome to Front and Center, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on government operations, offering you an exclusive glimpse into the inner workings of the city of Statesville.
Welcome back to Front and Center. I'm Nikayla Griffin.
I'm April Nesbitt, and we are here today with two awesome guests. Nikayla, we have Steve Bridges, who is the Public Works Director for the city of Statesville. I had to get that right.
Yes.
And then we have Randall Meadows, which lots of people know Randall because he's out in the field. And he is our street superintendent for the city of Statesville. And these guys do some awesome work around the city, and we're going to jump in here and question them. They're on the hot seat today, girl.
Yes.
They are on the hot
up.
seat. So the city covers about 150 miles of streets and I don't even know how many miles of sidewalks, what you guys do, but we're looking at streets, sidewalks, infrastructure. Takes a lot to keep the city's streets smooth and no potholes. And I know a lot of people complain about potholes, but we're going to get into the nitty gritty today and talk about what this really means and who these streets belong to. So let's get in there, Kayla.
Let's go.
All right, we're going to let Steve start it off.
Go ahead,
We're going to
Steve.
put you on the hot seat first.
Thank you.
Get in these streets, Steve.
Give us an overview of what the street division does and how it fits into the big picture for the Public Works Department.
Okay, well, a little of everything. They are responsible for, obviously, the street maintenance. They stripe the streets, fix any issues with the streets. They handle all the sidewalks, the curb and gutter portion that you see on the top. Stormwater handles the pipes underneath, but they handle all the curb and gutter on top. They also maintain all of our parking lots and the sidewalks around them. And routinely, sometimes even in our parks, they handle those as well.
Street sounds like a little small job, but it is not.
It's not,
It is a
no.
huge part of Public Works.
They spray, they mow. They handle a couple of our dams. They maintain a couple of those.
Wow.
So they do a little bit of everything.
So when Randall doesn't answer when I call, there may really
He's
be a
working.
reason.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Other
I got
than
you.
he just
I just
doesn't
want to
wanna
make
talk
sure.
to me.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to me. I got you.
But yes, his phone rings a whole lot more than mine does. And I appreciate that, actually.
So, Randall, since you are the most popular man in these streets, you're in the field day in and day out, and you got your crew working. What's a typical day for you?
Well, a typical day is, we kind of get together. First, I check everything out when we get in and see what complaints has come in, what potholes has come in. And,
There's never a
don't
complaint.
get those.
There's just never a complaint for potholes.
yeah.
So.
So,
Believe it or not, they catch a lot of them on their own.
yes. So, but we try to handle them in a timely manner.
Okay.
I try to reach back out, to each one that calls in, or emails us in or something like that through the line, computer and stuff. So, but our day is very busy. It's like these guys are saying we are extremely on things because I try to handle it in a timely manner,
Absolutely.
and try to get there as quick as possible.
That's good.
For the
We
people.
appreciate you.
But I bet you that your day starts out and it goes just exactly in order as you expected, right?
No.
Never, right?
Well, there's always storms somewhere, so
Something always comes up and you have to divert people.
Yes,
I see
ma'am.
that a lot.
Yes, ma'am. We help out different crews. We're with the light department. We're with water department. We're with, we do stormwater. The thing about it, people think streets, and we handle multiples, and it ain't just streets. And so my team has to go out different ways each day. So we kind of, get together and talk about it. No, my day's never planned the way I like it. So depending on the phone ringing, what's going on. So but we do try to handle as fast as possible, and I think it's only right, for people.
That's good. That's good.
Well, with 145 miles of streets, how do you prioritize things? Is it as needed, or do you try to plan things? How does this work?
Basically, how we prioritize is, we look at, I go to the street. If we get a complaint, I try to go to the streets and see how many's in that street, what size they are, what it needs to take
We're
to
talking
fix it.
potholes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then, like on any other situation, we always try to analyze it, what we're going to have and stuff like that, and make sure we can get there and handle, there as best we can. and what it's going to take to get a job done for that job. And then we move on to different things, whatever comes down the line. We you move one thing, you have to move to another. It depends on because it's like I said, we help out different spots, the electrical department and stuff like that. So
That's Statesville Public Power.
yeah, we have to, yes, we have to stop.
They love their new name.
You're welcome,
Yes.
Cody.
That's right. Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
But yes, we do. I mean, it's it can change just rapidly each day, so we try to maintain everything we can as fast as we can for people.
That's good. So let's talk a little bit about maintenance. Can you explain the difference between preventative and corrective maintenance, and what kind of repairs fall into those categories?
Well, preventative maintenance and stuff, it's like we try to look ahead and see if there's an issue in the area and stuff that we can kind of get it before it becomes a main issue is basically what we try to do, in a timely manner.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have a resurfacing program and that we do every year that includes some pavement preservation that Randall helps us out with, trying to tell us what roads probably need it the most. We do that based on a various scoring system. Our condition score, which is called a PCI score, pavement condition index, and then we also look at the volume of the road, what might be on it, schools, residential, commercial, whatever it may be, and then then we look at how much money we have and how far that'll go, and then we make a decision based on that.
Money.
Always, yes.
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
yes. And a lot of people don't realize that, we depend on the Powell Bill funds from the state to do a lot of
Absolutely.
our resurfacing. But, and everybody thinks, well, if we had more mileage and we had more people, because most of that money comes from the census, it doesn't come from the mileage, that we'll get more money. But that's not necessarily true because the top number that we start getting our share of may not change. And everybody's adding mileage in people. So if that number doesn't go up, then our number, even though we add more, could go down or stay the same.
So it's the official census. So you do not get any additional funds until every 4 years until, is it
Other
10?
than
10 years.
10 years.
10 years, excuse me. 10 years when the census comes out. That's crazy
wow.
because you know how many people we could add in 10 years? And I mean, we have added a lot of people since the last one.
So hopefully before the next one, we'll have a little bigger bump. But again, unless the state raises that amount, we may not get any more than we did.
That's good to know.
And the city covers whatever, basically from our general fund, they would cover any other streets, or you just don't have any extra after the Powell Bill?
The council is doing a good job right now of asking us if we need additional funds. I
Okay.
don't know how much we'll get necessarily, but yes, they are open to the idea of possibly giving us a little bit more because Powell Bill is just not going to cover enough to do what we need to do.
Not anymore.
It's just things have gotten too expensive, inflation. And
Oh, I can only
everything,
imagine
so-
how much asphalt has gone up.
Oh, it's
I've heard
crazy.
Randall talk about it. So yes, it's crazy because when I call with a pothole, yeah, the patching team, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money patching. So
And we hope that the legislature will raise that number some because, infrastructure is a problem throughout. It's throughout the country. It's not just here.
Right, right.
So it's everywhere.
So we know potholes. This is something you deal with every day. But what are some other common issues that you get calls on, or things what's the biggest issues that you see here in Statesville when it comes to streets or sidewalks or whatever?
Well, our biggest issue is, like toe stumpers and stuff like that on the sidewalk. And
Oh, the
stuff.
tree roots and stuff are
Yes.
crazy.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So, that's like I said, we usually try to take care of that. Of course, it takes a while because we've had some big trees here lately.
Yes.
And so you have to grind them, once you get the tree out and stuff. And then you have to go back in and you have to take the sidewalk up.
Wait a minute. Now, are you telling me that when we take a tree down, you guys go help with that too?
Yes.
Wow.
You guys are everywhere.
Yes.
Why he's the man in these streets?
He is the man in these streets. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, but I was like, wait a minute now.
No.
You're over here working in trees too? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Wow.
But yes. But yeah, we, it's like I said, we do have to grind. Then we got to take the sidewalks out, and then we have to, then we'll probably put them back and stuff, and then we just keep moving on and on and on. But then other things, like I said, then we do curbs too. So that
Yeah.
also is a factor. Then because then it involves, making sure if there's water flow in the road, we make sure we have to install it and make it go, the direction it's supposed to go. And
Oh, he's getting too technical.
You know what? He's so smart. He got street smart.
You got it.
That was good.
She's on fire today.
Yeah, you got street smart. But yeah, that's good. That's good.
But yeah,
Don't get us wrong. We love our trees.
I know.
Oh, we do.
I don't want
We
1,000
love our
phone
tree
calls from
city.
people,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
We
the
love
roots
trees.
can create a bit of a problem for us when
Yeah.
the trees get large. So
Right.
we have to work around them a lot.
Yeah, that's good. So, if a resident calls us and says that they see a problem, what are the steps for them to report it, and what happens when the report comes in?
okay. Basically, get online. You can go online and send it to the city.
Okay.
And
Report a problem.
That's right.
Yep.
Report a problem, and then what it does is that it'll come to me on my
Okay.
computers, and it's like I told you, earlier. I check this stuff every morning.
Okay.
And so what I do is then kind of put it in where it's got to go, and what place it's got to do, and then we try to come out and we try to fix it, and then we move on.
Wow, you need an assistant.
Yes. That would be nice.
Yes,
I mean, well, I'm
Funny
not
she
saying
mentioned
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would you rather them email it or would you rather them call you? Which do you prefer?
April, it don't matter.
What's the phone number? What's your personal cell number?
Right. He
I
said
know
he
where
got
you're
a
going with
list.
it.
What's your GPS locator number so they
What
can
is the
find
number
you?
for the street department? They can leave a message.
Okay, you can leave it at 704-902-1887.
Did you just give your city cell
That'll
phone
be the
number
fastest
out?
way to get to me.
Oh boy.
That's the best way because, like I said, I am in and out.
I gotcha, yeah.
And it does. Everybody knows it, so it just works better.
I
That's
gotcha.
good.
Okay. All right. So
But the main number is on the website.
Yes.
yeah, and the main number is on the
If they need
website if
it.
you want to call.
But we get a lot of them through the report a problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We get them through the local ones.
All right, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back on track here. Y'all got me all messed up on these trees over here. What should residents do if they see an issue outside of the normal working hours, like a down stop sign or a street hazard? What should they do?
Well, a down stop sign stuff. Usually, most people call PD, and then
Okay.
PD will call me
Don't
or
call
whoever's on
911
call.
though.
Do
Call
not
the
call
non-emergency
911.
line.
Right.
704-878-3406.
Yes, that's
That's
it.
the number.
That's it.
So, yeah, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. It's like I said, I got it. But no, most times they'll call us, and then whoever's on call, we come out and we'll repair it and stuff. Anything out of the normal and stuff, just it's no problem. Just call, and any trees, around and stuff like
These
that in
are
the road.
emergency situations that needs
Yes.
to be repaired that immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We
Gotcha.
always have somebody on call. So
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
That's good. So speaking of after hours, your team often gets called for emergencies, and especially with down trees and after a storm. How do you handle these situations?
He comes back to work.
I know you don't get any sleep, especially during like those storm times.
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yes.
He's actually an
Oh, and
Android.
you know
He's
the
actually an
best part about
Android. He
this,
doesn't
Nikayla?
sleep.
I
at all.
know.
You know, the best part is I'll call and say, Randall, can you send me a picture?
Yeah.
I drive him crazy.
Wow. That's why I said you need an assistant. We're gonna get you one.
So this goes back to your on-call folks.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, it's like I said. Anything happens like that, tree goes down, anything like that goes on. Manhole covers, anything. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We basically what we do is, we whoever's on call, I usually dispatch him because
Okay.
most of the time PD just calls me, and then what I do is I'll just dispatch to them, and then they'll come out and do the repair, and then they go back home.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You don't stay out all night. I've seen some nights where you guys are up in the AM hours.
Yeah.
So it's always fun.
It's always
Yeah.
working.
We pray for the thunderstorms to go around us for
Yes.
sure.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's shift over to traffic calming, Steve. Give us a rundown, because I believe you were part of this process when we put this policy in place.
Well, I was in planning at the time, I think.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I
So
was,
it's been around
it was
that
getting
long?
close. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been around since 2018.
Okay.
Put into place in October, and essentially there are a lot of and everybody thinks it's just speed humps. It's not just speed humps. There are other things we can do as well. We can put up a permanent speed sign. We can do stop signs. We can do road diets, shrinking roads down. We can do a lot of different things. Although speed humps are the thing that most people ask for.
Tell us about a road diet.
A road diet is basically where you can.
I might need to go on that.
Road diet is basically where you take a road that may be very wide, and our citywide speed limit is 25 on any road that's not posted otherwise. So remember that. if the road's really wide, sometimes it doesn't lend itself to that very easy. So people tend to speed because it seems like you can. So sometimes what we can do is add bike lanes or bump outs, you know, some
How about a
decorative
median down the
things, a
middle?
median down the middle, something to shrink the lanes down a little. Because if it seems smaller, it seems like you should go slower.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So a lot of people will do that. Those are a little more expensive than other options, so we don't do those as often, but they are something that we can do in an extreme situation where it's a long stretch and it's just a huge road.
But speed humps, that could affect our fire trucks, our
can.
police
It
officers,
really
I mean,
can. And
your
we're working-
vehicles and things like that.
We're working with the fire department to come up with a design that works for them. Maury and I have been talking a lot about that, and I think we've come up with a design that we may use on the next set that may work well for most of our fire trucks. They all have a different wheelbase, so we're trying to find one that works the best for all of them. And of course, we don't put those in a lot of locations. We won't put those in a location that's a critical response route for
Right.
PD or for EMS or for fire.
So you're looking at mostly side roads
Mostly
that they're
side
using
roads,
for
subdivision
cut-throughs.
roads, and cut-through roads, yeah.
Okay.
And the way you do that is if you email me or call me at my office, I'll send you, or I believe the policy is online.
It
You
is.
can download that. There, at the end of the policy, there's a petition that you have to get at least 75% of the people on that stretch of roadway.
Okay.
If it's going to be the whole road, then the whole road have to sign saying they want one. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. There's also a $100 fee to do the study. So we have to get all that done before we even look at the road and do the study. Then what we'll do is either the PD or us will put up a speed sign and do a study on what the 85th percentile speed of that road is, basically what 85% of the people are doing.
Okay.
If that's exceeded by if 15% of the people or more are doing over 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, then we start to look at that as a problem.
Maybe you shouldn't have told them that. They'll all go flying down through there now to be over the speed limit.
There's also a scoring sheet in there, and if you read the policy, it's long. It's 22 pages long.
Oh, wow.
There is an actual, and it explains literally everything. The calculations we do, everything is in there. There's a scoring system based on what your volume is per day. If there's more than 2,000 cars a day on a road, we won't put a speed hump on it.
Okay.
If it's got a school on it or things like that, you got to weigh those things out. So there's how
School
many
buses going over speed
yeah,
humps.
exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how many accidents are on the
Kids
road?
would love it.
Yeah, yeah, they would. Yeah, 4-wheelers and dirt bikes love them too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of people think that'll stop that, but actually that
Oh,
just gives
wow.
them something to play on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But that's kind of how it works. And then if it scores a certain amount on the scoring system, then we look at the idea of possibly putting money on those. They're not cheap. They're about almost $5,000 a piece.
Oh wow.
So they're not cheap.
That's nuts.
That's
So
why
it's basically asphalt, isn't it?
no,
We talked about the price
they
of it,
used to
so
be. They used to be. Now we're actually using a prefab. We've got a test one, 2 of them down now that we're testing to see if we like them better. Where we actually they're kind of rubber essentially. They're hardened rubber, so they're not. You still get thrown to the ceiling if you hit them. But they get drilled into the asphalt, so that if that neighborhood grows and it exceeds the amount, or if the problem's solved and we don't need them anymore, we can move them to a new location.
Oh,
and
that's
reuse them.
good.
And we don't have to have a specialized installation. So.
after you've made the decision that it qualifies with all these measures are met, where do you go next? Council? And ask them, or do you guys do
well, I
it?
usually go to at least the city manager's office and to my boss and say, look, this one seems to qualify on here. Are we good to go?
Okay.
Do we have it in the budget? Do we have enough money
Yeah,
at that time, or
okay.
do we have to wait for the next budget cycle?
Okay.
There's a lot of things that go into that, but yeah, I'll just get permission to go ahead and install them.
Okay.
That's good. So, Randall, do you have any examples where your team has seen any real improvements in the neighborhood after a traffic calming was implemented?
Yes, it's like I said. I think right here in front of Mitchell, matter of fact, or
Oh,
up here
yeah.
in Mulberry. You see definitely people are slowing down because that
They
is a
are.
high traffic area, and I think it's well deserved place for one and stuff. So they are definitely
Slowing down. That's
Yes,
good.
ma'am. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
Good. That's good.
All right, this is my favorite one here. Not all city streets are city maintained. Tell us who's responsible for what and how the residents can tell the difference.
can go
Because
through the whole
I
list of
have to
roads?
call you guys all the time and say, is this city maintained? So, I mean,
Well, I mean, I can go through some of the main drags. Pretty much like your Broad Street, your Davie Avenues, your Gardner Bagnall. half of Monroe Street. You know, you got Davy Avenue. You got Sullivan. You know,
Front Street.
Yes, Front Street. Pretty much your main hubs that come through your town is pretty much the DOTs and stuff. And I know I've got a question. I got that yesterday, and so I had
Yep,
to
comes
answer.
up a lot.
And then she was real shocked. You know, so but she said she appreciated the information. But I think a lot of people, they think just because they live in the city, that is all the cities, and of course it's not.
It's not, yeah.
So you have to, you know, I guess, like I said, years of service will help you
Yeah.
figure out all that stuff. But yeah, that's it.
On the website.
Yes, the Powell Bill map is on the
That's a really
website.
good way to do it too.
Yes.
If you go to the website and look up our Powell Bill map, anything in red is NCDOTs. Anything in black is the cities in the city limits, and then anything purple is privately maintained.
And then if you're in the county, it's automatically DOT. Iredell County does not
No,
handle
it's not.
streets or roads.
That's
so
true.
just to say that out loud.
Not
just, it's all
necessarily though.
But it could be private.
Yeah.
It's private or NCDOT.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
90% of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to be DOT. You can, I tell you another way to check it too, and this is not foolproof, but most times if you see like it's been marked yellow down the middle of the road and stuff like that, because most private, I don't know, private roads I know, excuse me, I can't even talk, but most roads like that, they you know, they don't get marked because they're private roads, like
Right.
some of these house develops and stuff like that. So yeah.
And if you're in the county and you go to the end of the road and the stop sign's there, if either the green sign that has the road name or it has SR and a number, 4-digit number after it, that's a secondary road number for DOT. So that means it's a DOT street. Or there may be a white
They're so
wooden
smart.
there may be a white wooden block on the stop sign post itself that has a
Right.
4-digit number. That's also the secondary road number.
I had no idea what
Me
SR
neither.
meant.
So-
Never knew what that meant.
Can y'all write that down?
Actually, I can send you a website. You can look it up.
Thank you.
DOT has
That's
has a
good.
map on their website as well. So if
Wow,
you're
that's
wondering,
good to know.
they can see it.
Okay, that's good. So, how do you work with other city departments like engineering and the stormwater when you guys have projects that overlap with your responsibilities?
Well,
Teamwork.
it is teamwork.
That's right.
That's
That's
exactly
it.
right.
What was the old saying? One team, one fight?
One fight. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really am. Shout out to MT.
But basically, no. When it comes to you know, putting together, we got a job that's going to work together. We kind of see, you know, who's going to do what. As far as, you know, like, you know, a while ago, you know, storm division, you know, they'll take care of the pipes underneath the ground. I'll be coming back to probably resurface the road, and that boils down to your, you know, plumb down to the water and sewer too. When they do come in to do the water cuts and stuff, we're the ones come out and, you know, overlay the road back for asphalt and stuff like that. Okay.
That's good. That's
Real
good.
quick, when you have a project, so stormwater goes out, I'll see the road sit for a few days or a week or two with just the gravel and the dirt. What are you waiting for?
What it is it's wise to take after you dig the ground. A lot of people, if they'll understand when I explain this, is because when you take dirt out of the ground, you're disturbing the ground. Even though we tamp it back, the ground is still going to settle.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we usually let, like the road I was talking about gets cut, and we come back after they've done a water cut to a new house. What we do is we usually let it sit for like a week.
Okay.
And what that does is that gives it time for it to settle. Plus, it lets the cars, they're compacting it too.
Yeah.
And then we come back, and then we'll dig it, and then we overlay it. It makes the ground stay, you know.
Steady.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. Okay. So, before we wrap up, Randall, you've seen it all. I know you have because you've been in these streets. What's one?
I don't know if you can just tell us one.
I know. Okay, so just give us something that's unusual or memorable that you responded to.
The craziest
call.
thing, I think the craziest thing was getting a dead horse out of the road.
A what?
A
How
dead
did you
horse out of
do
the
that?
road.
You strong, Randall.
In the city limits?
Yes.
Holy moly.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Did you use a skid steer?
Of course, we had to call animal control and all. So, but that's what happened. A horse got hit, and
That's so sad, though.
that was probably the craziest one.
That is crazy.
I think they had the same question as y'all. What do we do with it?
Yeah, what are you doing
Yeah,
with
what
it
you
now?
doing?
Oh my goodness.
So you just had to call animal control and stuff, and then you had to go through the proper procedure with that.
That is insane.
Yes.
What's your favorite call? What's your favorite call to get? I know you get some funny stuff.
The thank you calls. Those are his favorites.
So yeah, thank you calls.
Most definitely. The Probably the coolest one. I think the coolest one and the funnest one was when you get the call of there's a humongous tree down.
There, that's a little limb.
Well, and then you get out there, and then it's probably about the size of my pinky. And
But it's across the street.
but it was, but that's probably the funnest one.
Wow.
It's all relative to different people.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Big looks different in different places.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, you know what? We want to give a big thank you to Steve Bridges and Randall Meadows. Thank y'all for coming, hanging out with us, telling us about all y'all street life and all the great things that you guys do. We are so we are thankful for the work that you guys do. Thank you for
Absolutely.
the late nights, the early mornings, and all the great things that you add to our city. You are very much appreciated, and we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And I hope this opens our citizens' eyes
Yeah.
to see what you guys do. I mean, you're not just out there filling potholes.
No.
I mean, you guys are busy. It's
Keep in mind, we
crazy.
do all that with 16 people.
And even
Yeah.
when even when we're putting in sidewalks, please don't fuss at us for putting sidewalks in because we're just
Yeah.
trying to make it better for you guys.
yeah.
I mean, I just want to tell everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
we get crazy calls.
Oh, I know.
We get the craziest stuff. I mean, and it just gets a little nuts
Yeah.
sometimes. But we work through it
Yeah.
and we try to make everyone happy.
Yep.
You guys are no different than us who try to keep everything flowing.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
yeah, I mean, everybody's on the same page here working for the city. So if you see a pothole, broken sidewalk, a down tree, you know the man to call, Mr. Meadows. Everybody's pointing. And we thank you for
can
tuning
call me
in.
too.
Yeah, you call Steve too, but he has his phone diverted to Randall.
Go straight to Randall.
What's that number again? Come on, 704-902.
1887.
1887. If you have an urgent problem, you can also go to our website and go to report a problem. They jump on these things quickly. And thank you for joining in again today, listening to our crazy selves because it's been fun today. This has been a fun one. So we will see you guys next time.
Tune in to the next episode as we share our dedication to transparency, public service, and governance, shining a spotlight on our commitment to keeping you well informed about all things City of Statesville.